I always said, when there are these events with Wayne, it was always, I said I should write down and have this competition because guys would want to one up the other guy about how well they know Wayne. Oh, okay, so right, it'd be like we went to Vegas for many years with that camp, right, and then you'd see a guy, the next day after the opening where you got all your equipment and shit like that, and then a guy would go, say, what'd you get up to last night, right? And the guy go, I had a drink with Wayne, in the privé lounge, right? And another guy would be there going, yeah, I'm having lunch with him today, though. I'm going to be having lunch with him today. And then the next guy would, it would just get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like, well, I've been to his house. No, you haven't been to his house. And it was always so funny. The cool thing about that fantasy camp. So fantasy camps started a long, long time ago. The first fantasy camp, I think, was Reggie Jackson, who came up with this idea of saying, why don't guys come? We'll do it. We'll have a charity angle. Come to the ballpark for the day, and we're going to scrimmage or something, And he was one of the first guys who started that whole idea. Baseball, I think, Brian, was the first sport that did it. And then these guys all glommed onto this idea of doing it. Wayne, I thought, would be the last guy who would do it because of, how little private time he had.
Fair.
Interesting enough then, so back then, Brian, I think it was 40 guys when it first started. It was 120 by the end. It was a highly, highly organized thing. The quick deal is you show up, you get all this equipment, there's dinners, there's cigar and scotch night. And you're right, Mickey, these guys are all there, and not just Wayne, but you're talking about a dozen guys who would come in for this thing and big names, like Brett Hull, like
you had Gordie Howe there one year.
Gordie Howe one year.
Brooks Robinson.
Larry Robbins. Yeah, on and on and on. You talk to guys at the end of it, Brian, okay, now you're there for a hockey deal. Every guy I ever spoke to, if you said, tell me your best experience out of that fantasy camp, okay? The best one I ever had was watching a guy get a pass from Wayne, okay, on the ice. The guy scored. He wheeled around and his eyes went wide. He scrambled for the puck, okay, because he got a pass from Wayne. I'm not lying. He came to the bench. We had the camera rolling back then. We ran it the whole time. Donnie Metz was doing it. And I tapped the guy in the shoulder. I had the mic behind him. I go, how was that? And he turned around and he went, I shit my pants. Okay? The guy got so excited. He wanted to pass a little gas. But the best experience, everyone always said, if you said, what's your best experience? You're right, Brian. It was always this moment they had with him at lunch,
right?
Or on the, I sat beside him on the bus. He came into the dressing room and put his arm around me. That night we walked. Remember, he was with Breitling, was one of his companies. We all walked over to the Breitling store.
Yep.
I got to walk with him through the hallways of
Caesar's Palace.
And, it all of it had nothing to do with hockey. Nothing.
Well,
all their experiences.
Let me tell you that, and you talk about those special moments. And I want to give a little shout out to, God bless him, Mike Brown passed away, and Jeanette, his wife, but the kids are around, and they were all part of it. And Mike had a lot to do with I know Mike and I were working with WGA, the memorabilia company.
Mike Brown used to head up WG Authentic,
right. And we talked about how Brad Jansen introduced me to Mike, and Mike and I became very close friends, and his family. Mm-hmm. And Wayne charged Mike with getting this thing up and running, and the amount of work, especially in the early days, that you had to buy. Everybody got full sets of equipment, hockey sticks. He had to find sponsors. All that stuff was a tremendous amount of work. And then Frameworth got involved. I was fortunate enough that he said, well, we should have everybody's going to value a picture with Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
So we would go down with an on-site framing team, and you get the photos. We developed it through the camp, and at the end of the camp, you walk away with a frame photo of you and Wayne in your equipment. I still have mine hanging in the office.
Right. Yeah.
So all of that said, the first camp was in Phoenix, and I remember everybody got their own room, and we had resort suites, and we were all sitting around at this complex, and I was by myself. So everybody said, well, cocktail party's at 7 at the main bar there. So I'm got nothing to do. I can't sleep. I'm too hyped up. So I go down to the bar at 6. I'm sitting by myself at the bar. Nobody in there. and I feel a tap on the shoulder, and it's Wayne. Now, I don't know Wayne that well at the time.
You know?
But that's my story. He sat and talked to me like I was his best friend.
Yeah.
We had a drink together before anybody got there. And then that whole story about people started coming in and wanting to talk to me. Get out of here. You're my friend. I'm sitting there talking to him.
Thank you so much for watching this clip of the Sign Off, a Frameworth podcast. Just a reminder that we have full episodes of the Sign Off available wherever you get your podcasts, on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. Make sure to like and subscribe on whichever platform you use. You can find us on Twitter at Frameworth Sport or on Instagram at Frameworth Sports. And hey, if you're not sick of me yet, you can find me on Twitter at Retrograde Mikey. Finally, feel free to send us emails with your questions you want us to answer on the show, and we may feature you live. You can do that by sending your emails to signoffpod@frameworth.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you with a new episode every single Thursday.